start with you, Simon, because your involvement with the club didn't start in the traditional way as playing cricket. Tell us about your first time with this club, because I know you actually came here to do a job.
Yeah, you're right, 93, 94. They were upgrading the switchboard and doing a few things in the old club rooms, which were on the other side of the ground here, in my park. And my good friend and a legend cricketer of this club, Bradley Jones there, wanted a switchboard to be dropped off, and I worked in the electrical game, so I said, yeah, I'll bring one over, because I worked over the road. And that was 1993. I dropped that switchboard off, and now it's 2025, and I'm still involved with the club and love it. But as you say, it was nothing to do with my cricketing ability or anything like that. It was just a delivery of some goods for some repairs. So that's how I ended up here. And I'm pleased that it went that way. It was just an extraordinary introduction to the joint.
First grade scorer for 22 years. You're obviously a very good electrician, but you're very good with numbers as well. So you must take a lot of concentration. I mean, you're obviously, with the bat, you're on the ball the whole time, aren't you?
Well, you do, but it's like Juan and I did it for, of those 22 years, 16 years together. We were a combination where we shared a session. We did that for 15 to 16 years, and you just get involved when you're watching every ball of the game, and you forget about numbers and things like that. You just get so involved, and you get so passionately involved with it too, because Juan and I were very superstitious about things in games of cricket like that. If we were going well, we wouldn't change shifts or anything like that. A lot of memories out of it. Like I had 10 grand finals for 7 premierships, so I can't moan about my time on the biro.
And Juan, when you look at it from a scoring perspective, obviously people see what people are there, they're watching the cricket. Tell us about how the role of the scorer actually works, because there'll be a lot of people who probably don't know how important it is and how much you've got to concentrate, but obviously comparing as well with having 2 scorers.
Yeah, well, when Simon and I started, we were all under the old scheme, under the book, and then it went to computer later on. But Simon and I would basically, as he said, we'd split a shift, or we'd do a session each, whatever. If I got nervous, like one time he rang me up, I said, I've got to go for a drive, and he said, where are you? I said, Newtonmara. He said, what are you doing out there? I said, I just can't watch it anymore. I used to get like that, a little bit worse than Simon, but it was handy. A lot of the people we scored with were very helpful to us. You know, if you'd sometimes lose your way and you'd backtrack and you'd find it. No, it was great. It was just great fun all day doing it.
It's funny, kind of what you say about that going for a drive to Newtonmara. It was 4 or 5 overs into a grand final against Launceston.
And I'm out the door, you know.
He's gone. He said, I can't handle this. And when I rang him, he said, well, what's going on? I said, we've got him 3 for 7. Can you come back? You know, he said, oh, I better come back, he said. So, but he was out the bush.
Yeah. Oh, no, I probably shouldn't have come back in all fairness, because I think we lost to Launceston in that one.
Scotty, you joined Mowbray in 85, 86, and an era, you made your A-grade debut, I think, in your second game at the club, but you're in an era where it's some incredible bowlers, and I think they actually, you mentioned as well, the Examiner had a write-up saying that you were the poor man's West Indian pace attack back in the day. You had some superstars.
We did. It was interesting when I arrived at the club. I come from Wilmot Cricket, which was the old canvas mats on over cement. Come from Repco Cricket Club. Played second grade, my first game, predominantly as a middle order batter. Bowled 2 overs that day under the illustrious or notorious Brian Lynch as captain. Got knocked over cheaply at Bushby Park it was, and as I was trudging off the ground in my second grade debut for the club, he walked past me going out the bat, and he just said, Watkins Furniture Removalists are on the way to pick your stumps up. I thought, what the hell have I done here? 2 overs that day, I think I picked up a wicket, that's all I bowled. The next week I found myself playing A-grade under Brad there and Mick in the background out at Westbury, and we were bowled out on day 1, and I think half an hour to go before stumps I was handed a cricket ball that running in at Westbury had no idea what I was doing, and the thing just moved around everywhere. So that was my introduction to Mowbray Cricket Club. So
tell us about some of the teammates that you played with that made up such an illustrious group.
Oh, well, from the bowling side of it, you had Roger Brown, Troy Cooley, Donny Gardner was fairly useful. Had a very excitable bloke called Greg Campbell, who went on to play 4 tests for Australia.
Greg got called for a no ball out here one day by Bill Elliott, and he got called no ball, and Greg turned around and showed him the ball, hadn't let it go.
And on the batting front then come the 2 gentlemen I mentioned earlier, Brad Jones, Mick Sellers. You know, they were veterans, they were hard cricketers. Richard Sewell, who was a schoolmate of mine. Sully, as we know, could have gone to very high honours in this country, but very successful keeper for Tassie. You know, and Andy Mannion, Paul Barron. It was just a great era to play, and it was just tough cricket, hard, and that was the whole era. Every club at that stage had, you know, some really experienced, older, tougher cricketers.
Well, for you, the club started in 1955, obviously celebrating 70 years this year, but your association began with the Mowbray Cricket Club back in 1973.
73.
Involved?
Ex-Queechee high school student, was mad passionate about North Launceston and decided North Launceston had a lot of footballers that played cricket for Mowbray, that I'd like to play cricket maybe at Mowbray, but I really liked the swampy mentality, and one of my mates from school, a fellow called Brian Clark, he went to Mowbray when we left school, so he said, come along and have a hit there, so I started there in 1973.
From a playing perspective as well, you captain flag in second
Yeah,
grade
captain.
as well?
I was predominantly a second grade player. I played every grade at this cricket club other than 4th grade, but I was probably a reasonable second grade player at best. But we were pretty good in 82, 83. We won the flag in second grade. Really good
Pretty
team.
decent side too.
Yeah, Campbell Sewell and Lynn Walsh and Lloyd Murphy had played a lot of cricket on the coast and in the north.
So Nick, your association started in the early 1980s, over 200 club games. How did you get involved with the club?
When Jack Simmons was coach, I came as a young bloke. I'm sure it was 12 or 13. My mother, single mother, older lady, sort of wanted me to have a bit of guidance around a few older people. I went to St Pat's school, not really sort of a Brooks boy to be, you know, the blue collar sort of thing, but came to the cricket club and started from there. My first captain was Dave Sarich. I played juniors prior to that, and then Dave was my captain. We won a grand final together, and yeah, just moved through the ranks like that.
Obviously the club means a lot to you. You're former president, you're a life member, associated with the club still. What does this cricket club mean to you from when you came through the door as a youngster to you look at it today? What do you like about this club?
I don't reckon I'd be the human I am today if it wasn't for this cricket club. A lot of great people like Brad, Mick, Juan, these 2 guys here. Juan was my first second grade captain. I think I might have debuted, or might have been the year before, with Scotty in the A grade. Simon was the MC at my wedding, so it's unbelievable how things just go. And you know, Mick and that used to pick me up. Mick lived around the corner, and yeah, it was just a great club. You can't. I think I went away for a couple of years, went down to Hobart, but you never take the eagle out of a person, I don't think.
President of the Mowbray Cricket Club today, what is it about this club that still sees it as strong as ever?
To me, coming back to the club, and you know, I left the club after my playing days and jumped across the river to Riverside to coach. I just wanted to coach, and I believed I had to have a change of players to do that with instead of my mates. But when I got back to this club, it's just something. It's the Mowbray way. It's just what we stand for. It's the people. If anything, we've had a little bit of a direction change at board level in the last couple of years to really get our brand out in the mainstream again. It probably just lost its lustre a little bit over the last 10 years, but not in a bad way. It's just the Mowbray way. They're a pretty relaxed bunch of people that are associated with this club, but as I said, the focus, especially off the ground at the moment, is to really get the brand back out in the mainstream and be that recognisable cricket club. When people talk cricket, they think Mowbray Cricket Club straight away.
Funny you say that, because I was chairman at the time when Ricky announced his retirement from the game, and that day I I don't know how many phone calls and things from TV stations and newspapers I got that day. And that was the first thing they said to me, what does this mean to you? And I said, well, I reckon every Mowbray person in this town would have a tear in their eye right now because they were so passionate about Ricky's career and everyone was passionate about each other. And like Plum said, it's the Mowbray way. We were just a big group at the time, and Ricky retired, and it was how we all felt. We all felt the same that day.
Well, we went and did that garden honour, didn't we, down in Hobart? And there was lots of players, ex-players, and you know, champions of the club that were down there that day, which was a fantastic day for the club as well. So.
I was on the other end of that. I was chairman when Ricky was announced as captain, and had the amount of media that come at us, and to myself personally, you know, with thoughts on both basically a lout from Rotorua becoming captain of Australia, you know, so I was on the other end.
Plum, just want to talk about, we've obviously reached 70 years, but the future for the Mowbray Cricket Club. As the president, for you and your committee, how do you see the future, and you know, where do you see the club going from here?
Oh, look, as I touched on earlier, you know, there's been a real paradigm shift, I reckon, with the board. You know, and I'm privileged to be part of that and lead that, but I couldn't do that without this gentleman across here, Nick. You know, we've teamed up pretty well of late, and you know, that shift, as I said, is to get the brand back out there and be that club that, as soon as cricket spoke about in the north, and even in Tasmania, it's Mowbray Cricket Club. We know we've got the home of Ricky Ponting, but we've got to future-proof this club to move it forward. We're sitting here doing this documentary for reasons Nick and I have discussed. You know, we lost a life member a couple of years ago, Brian Swindles, and when we lose someone like that was revered at this club, you know, you lose a piece of your history, you lose the stories.
So we want to attract more people to come to the club, don't we? We want to make this a very open and friendly club like it was, and we just, as Plum said, we probably lost our way a little bit, but now we want it to become the best club in Tasmania, I feel, and it can be, and it was. Do you know what I mean? Like we had some great players, some great people, some great volunteers that have spent a lot of time at this club. So that's how I see it, and that's how I want it to go.
You've had some great people amongst this club.
We certainly have, and hopefully we have some more great people at this club. Yeah, it's brilliant. You look at that. You look at, there's the Sellerses, there's the Joneses, there's the Hayeses, there's the Illingworths, there's the Reeds, there's all these people that have been involved in this club over the whole time, you know, from day dot, and it's brilliant.
You started your journey in 1973
Yep.
at the Mowbray Cricket
Yep.
Club. You're still involved in cricket today as an umpire.
Yep.
How's you go as an umpire, by the way? You obviously did the grand final that recently that you played in.
No comment. No, he did. He did accept. He's probably the most liked umpire. I reckon you're the fairest.
Well, I try to
Doesn't
keep it.
hold a grudge. Comes in, has a beer, and enjoys everything. Don't you?
Yeah, I try
Enjoy
to.
the players.
I found it very hard to, when I first started umpiring Mowbray, I found it very hard being conscious of not giving them a cheap one, so to speak. And from that perspective, I've probably been a bit hard at times on them, rather than, you know, like if I give that out, does it look like a hometown decision? But now it doesn't even, it's just umpiring now, so.
He just puts them out.
If I think they're out, they're out.
What do you love about cricket, Salter? You've been in this for 5 decades, over 5
Yep.
decades. What do you love about the sport?
It's always been for me. I think as a kid, I was a better footballer than I was a cricketer, but I always loved cricket. And from the moment I walked into this door, into these doors, and got associated with people like Mick and Peter Warren, and you know, they just took me under their wing straight away. And then, you know, then later on, Brad and Lenny and all these blokes were all people. It's the structure and the guts of the cricket club, and it's always never been about so much the cricket for me. It's always been about, as we said earlier, the people.